This story is about following the Iraq War in 2003, the end of Iraq War. In April, the U.S. forces entered Iraq, toppled Saddam Hussein. The Kurdish forces were the only Kurdish forces on the ground and from opposition, Iraqi opposition, that were following the Americans after they entered the Kurdish cities or Kurdish majority cities. And Kirkuk was one of them. The city of Kirkuk in north of Iraq was under Saddam's control. My father was, we are from Kirkuk, my family is from Kirkuk. My father was from the exile governorate of Kirkuk. So before the fall of Saddam Hussein, the opposition had their own form of government. And my father was basically responsible on the Kirkuk issues. So naturally, after the Kirkuk fell, he went back to Kirkuk. He was one of the first politicians that started the local government there. I was only 14-year-old. After, I think, 2 weeks, 10 days, when they entered the city of Kirkuk with the Americans, I was like begging my father, please take me to Kirkuk. Everybody was going to Kirkuk to see it. I was like, I want to see it, what's going on. And he took me, with himself. He had a meeting from a city of Erbil, because we were living in Erbil, which is now the capital of Kurdistan region. We went there that day. For me, it was very exciting to see the Kirkuk first time. After the fall of Saddam Hussein, I was seeing. Most of us I saw on my way there was destruction. Statue of Saddam Hussein destroyed. Supermarket, like big markets, was looted. I think, like I was seeing, for example, a chair. I remember, like right on a highway, like thrown like on the street. So there was some chaos, but also people are happy. There was Kurdish flag everywhere, and I was seeing Americans on the road. Everything was normal. The idea was it was mostly happiness. We entered the governorate building, inside the city of Kirkuk, which is the headquarters of government. That day was normal. My father entered one of the meetings. I wasn't allowed to enter. So I was outside. I was trying to talk to the Americans. I couldn't speak English. But just trying to be friendly with them, and they were very friendly. I remember one of them gave me a orange juice, and it was nice. And suddenly this guy came in and brought food, which is Kurdish dolma. It was on a big tray, and he put it down there. There was no spoon, but the Marines guy didn't care. They were just, oh, this is awesome dolma. Apparently they had it before, so they loved it. They started eating by hand or using their plastic spoon, anything. While I was looking at this amazing thing, look at this. By the way, for me, it was one of the very few encounters I had with foreigners. So everything was amazing. While I'm looking at this experience, the Americans eating with the Kurdish fighters, my father had some Kurdish like bodyguards, Peshmerga, with him to protect him. Suddenly, all I remember was like this sound, like of a glass shattering. The windows. Pieces of the window, I could see it like on the ground, and the whole window fell. And I didn't know that was an attack. And apparently, for the first time after the fall of Saddam Hussein, a group of gunmen came in front of the province's building, and they started shooting at the building. And they wanted to enter the building to kill all the leaders and politicians inside. That was the purpose. And it was one pickup truck, according to what I learned later. But while I was at the moment, the shooting was keep going on. And the Americans, they immediately left the food, and they went upstairs to the second floor, because it was like we were on the first floor, and they went to the second floor. And my father's Peshmergas, the fighters, and most of the Kurdish fighters, they went toward the source of the bullets. They went outside, and they started shooting too. They were like everybody. It was chaos. And of course, after like 10 minutes or something, somebody and my father Peshmerga pushed me in one of the rooms and said, "Stay here, don't come out." But I went out anyways, because I was really scared. I didn't want to stay in the room, and I went to where my father was. It was chaos. I'm talking about only 2 weeks or 10 days, I'm not sure, after the toppling of Saddam Hussein. And I think these were one of the few incidents of the insurgency in Iraq that started in Baghdad and in the city of Kirkuk. After that, things were never the same. The Americans expected to be greeted by roses and things to be all good. And the Kurds expected the same thing. They thought this is a liberation, but that wasn't the case. That incident, as far as I remember, was where things went wrong. And I didn't go back to Kirkuk after that until the death of my father in December 2003.